Hi everybody, I'm Kimberly Edwards. Welcome to RecipeIdol.com, the internet's premier cooking site. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make masala chai tea from scratch. Now if that sounds scary, don't fret. It's not scary at all. Masala chai tea, basically it's just spiced tea, and you're going to make it with more milk than you usually would make tea with. That's it. So what I have right now going on is on my stove I have a medium-sized sauce pot. And I've just turned the heat on to medium. This particular pot has spouts on the side, and I prefer that when I'm making things that are beverages or liquids or stocks that I need to pour out later. You don't need it, but it's always helpful to have. So in that pot, I'm going to put 3 cups of water. Now I use reverse osmosis water just because that's what I have at my own home. You can use filtered water, or you can use the water out of your tap. Don't worry, don't fret. You just need water, okay? Don't trip. Next, 1 cup of milk. 1 cup of milk. Now, if you really, really want to, you can go ahead and use more milk than I have. But I don't find it necessary, and there's no need to waste your milk for no reason if you can just use water, I think. If you use more milk, you need more spices. It takes more spices to flavor milk than it does water, just in my opinion. So that's what's up. Okay, and also I'm going to wait until it boils, okay, till it starts simmering. So I've turned this up to a higher heat. I'm going to keep stirring it because there's milk in it. And milk tends to either stick or cause, it forms a film on the top, and it's not very appealing. So you're going to stir periodically, okay? Here goes my spices. The only thing I'm using that's like a fresh spice is this ground ginger. Now I have washed and dried this off. This is fresh ginger. I need the size of probably about a thumb. I know this isn't roughly shaped as a thumb, but I'm going to show you what I mean. There, that's about the size of a thumb, right? I would say. Let's say that. I'm going to just chop it up roughly, and I'm going to throw it into that pot. I don't need to like mince it, but chop it up a little bit so that that liquid can take that flavor out of it, okay? Next in, I'm going to put about a dozen peppercorns. Now you can eyeball it if you want, or you can count them out. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm using a mix of different color peppercorns. Black is more important than the green or the white or the red in this particular instance, but you can use whatever it is that you prefer and like, okay? So in they go. And I'm going to use a couple dashes of salt. Boom, boom, done. Okay, a couple of pinches of fennel seed. Now fennel seed, this is what they look like. If you hope you can see it. Little tiny seeds, okay? They look like little tiny banana-shaped seeds, kind of, sort of. So I'm going to put 2 pinches of those in. And I'm kind of generous with them because to me this is the flavor I think that stands out a little more than the other ones to me in a chai. As well as the cardamom, which is the next thing going in. Here's some cardamom pods. Okay, cardamom pods, you can get them in the bulk section or you can buy them elsewhere. I just keep them in a little tin to keep them fresh. This is what cardamom pods look like. They smell heavenly. They're awesome. I want you to put 15 in. Now I'm going to count them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. There we go. 15 cardamom pods, okay? And I'm going to try and put a half a cinnamon stick. Sometimes they're hard to break, but we shall see what's going on with this one. If not, I'm just going to throw the whole thing in. Oh, got it. Half of a cinnamon stick in. Now, if you're doing a double recipe for this is what I usually do, a double recipe, but for time purposes, I'm going to use the regular recipe for you guys. And I think that's all my ingredients for this moment. I'm going to bring you over here to my stove. Come with me. Hello. All right, guys. So, now, I'm just sitting here and I'm just going to stir this, okay? Stir, stir, stir. When it comes up to it's a simmer, I am going to put in some tea bags. I'm going to put 2 plain black tea bags in. These are a brand that I prefer and love. I'm going to also include them in the post for you guys so that you know what kind I use. It's an orange pekoe blend. It's actually an English tea. They call it builder's tea over in England. But that's going to go in. It's a black tea, so when you're using black tea, you can put it into boiling water, okay, or whatever liquid it is. It can take that high temperature. Unlike other teas like an oolong or a green tea, something like that, or a white tea, they're much too delicate and they can't handle that high temperature, but black tea is fine. Also, when you need to worry about brew time, okay? So when I'm using black tea, I let it go for 5 minutes. I put the timer on. Don't forget, put the timer on so you don't forget, okay? Timer on 5 minutes, then I scoop them out, okay? And that's gonna be just when it's on simmer and I'm still stirring it slightly, okay? The only other thing that you're gonna put in here after is, if you like chai tea just like this, try it. You might just like it perfect like this. If not, sweetener. When I sweeten chais, when I sweeten Darjeelings, let me say that, I often use Darjeeling teas for this, but Darjeeling tea is a very expensive tea, and you don't always want to maybe bust out your best tea for this, so I use the bright plain black tea. When I'm using Darjeeling tea, I sweeten the chai with sugar, just because the Darjeeling is the main focal point for me, and I don't want to change that flavor much more than I have to, and I feel that when I put honey in, it does change it a little bit. However, when I use plain black tea, I quite like using honey. Now, it's all up to you. You can use agave nectar, you can use NutraSweet, I wish you wouldn't, but you can use something like that, or plain sugar, or agave nectar, you know, any kind of sweetener that you prefer and you use often, okay? Again, I'm just stirring this. Now, as soon as it comes to to a simmer, which is about to, I'm going to put these tea bags in because it's coming to a simmer right now. So in goes my tea, okay? I'm putting my timer on for 5 minutes. Now, after 5 minutes, like I said, I want you to fish those tea bags out, but you don't need to fish everything out. Sit tight. I want you to keep that pot of tea simmering on the stovetop without the tea bags in, with the spices in, for another 10 minutes on the lowest simmer possible, okay? After that, it will have reduced and it will have concentrated your flavors a little bit more. Now, if you like just a hint, a whisper of spice, that's great. If you like that full-on chai flavor, go ahead and simmer that down just so it condenses a tiny bit, okay? Now, I'm going to let this go. In 5 minutes, I am going to take it off and I'm going to let it go for another 10 minutes. Then I'm going to come right back to you. Sit tight. Hi, everybody. All right, so I've taken my tea bags out about 10 minutes ago. And this has still been simmering for the last 10 more minutes, okay? It has reduced a little bit. It's condensed. Now the flavors are more condensed, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over here on my countertop to finish this off with you guys. I'll bring you back. If you're using a metal pot, be sure you're not burning yourself when you bring it out. All right, there we go. Off. There's my timer about to go off, and I'm bringing you back with me. Okay. So, sit tight, hold on. Okay. This is what I have now, okay? This is the tea, it's been reduced. Been going for 15 minutes on the stovetop. Now what I'm going to do is, you want to get those spices out. You don't want to drink the spices. I mean, eat them in your cup, right? No, probably not. So we're going to now strain this. I just have a glass measuring cup just because it has a pour spout. I love pour spouts, makes my life a heck of a lot easier. And this is just a regular colander or strainer, okay? Here we go. In you go. Out comes all the cardamom pods and the ginger and the cinnamon stick and the, you know, peppercorns and whatnot, okay? Now you're left with just plain old tea, okay? Well, not plain old tea, but your masala tea, right? Now, the only thing you have to do, well, I do because I like it sweet. I want to sweeten it. I'm going to use honey today, again. In it goes. Stir it in. Mom, would you like a glass?
Oh, I can't wait.
You want to come have some with me?
Yes.
Okay. It's super hot right now. You might need a little bit more honey. Now, you can also let everyone else do their own thing, okay? Sweeten their own cups. That's going to be really hot. Can I give you a small angel cup as well?
Sure.
Okay. There goes the tea. Okay. Let me taste it. Here's the crux moment, guys. I bet it needs a little more honey. Watch. Yes, mine at least does. That's very tasty. Wow, you can taste all those flavors in there. It's so beautiful. Well, now I've just debunked it for you. It's easy, right, to make masala chai tea at home. And it's a beautiful thing. You don't have to go to all those coffee houses. I won't say their names and spend $5 a mug for a venti. That's perfect now. I like mine sweet. I think that the sweetness brings out all those beautiful spices, okay? The cardamom, the cinnamon, the peppercorns, the ginger, my goodness. The salt, a little bit of salt in there helps it just pick up the flavor a little bit. It also enhances when you're sweetening something and you have a little bit of salt in there, it actually enhances the sweetness in a much nicer way. I know it sounds really weird, just believe me that that's what's up, okay? All right, so this is recipeidol.com, the internet's premier cooking site. I hope you guys enjoyed this today. Eat and drink deliciously. I'm Kimberly Edwards. You can find me at Cooking with Kimberly. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. Ciao.